So recently I asked Reddit if there was any interest in making some inexpensive DDR hard pads. So right now, if you want to play Dance Dance Revolution, you can either buy one of these $20 foam pads, which don't work that well, or you can pay like 400 bucks and buy a hard pad made of wood and metal and plastic stuff, which is pricey. So I was wondering, like, hey, what if I made one that cost 200 bucks or 150 or something? Would people buy it? And it seemed like Reddit said, yeah, go for it. Sounds like a good idea. So I have a prototype. This is the first draft of the Pubby Pad. It's a cross between a full-size pad and a mini travel pad, in that it's small enough that it doesn't use that much material. It's cheap to make, and it's also cheap to ship. But it's big enough that you mostly get full-size buttons. You can step in the middle of these buttons here, jump around, do crossovers, all that. You don't just have to use the edge like some of those mini pads use. For the buttons, this pad uses force-sensitive resistors, or FSRs. These are top-of-the-line sensors. It's the same sort of sensor that Step Maniacs uses, the multi-$1,000 arcade cab. So really good sensors. The cool thing about these is that you can set the sensitivity in software. So if you want to adjust like pressure, you just do it on your computer. You don't have to rip the pad apart and put pennies in or whatever. It's really easy, and they're very sensitive. The pad is made of engineered wood. The base of it is going to be plywood or OSB, and the top is made of laminate flooring. So the nice thing about laminate flooring is that it's designed to be stepped on. It's smooth, it's very hard, very stiff, you can't bend this stuff hardly, and it's fairly inexpensive, so that makes it attractive for this purpose. The buttons are based on the Bandit pad design, so there's just some Velcro here. I have some extra foam for support, and then here's the sensor bar. Works great, and it's very simple. The price of these is going to be somewhere between $150 and $200, probably around $170, we'll see. Shipping is going to be between $30 and $50, probably about $40. I'm only planning on shipping to the United States. If you live outside the USA, we can talk. I might be able to get you one, but for the most part it's USA only. If you'd like to purchase one, I'm going to set up a waiting list. To get on it, just email pubbypads@gmail.com with how many you want. And the way it works is once I manufacture these, then I'm going to email you and say, hey, I got one, do you want it? If you do, you pay me, and then I'll ship it. There's a good chance I'll make some bars compatible with the Pubby Pad too. If you're interested in buying a bar, put that in the email too. That way I can gauge the demand. Because this is a prototype, you can expect the final design will have a few changes. I probably won't use screws like this. The problem is countersinking them is very rough on the drill bit. This flooring is slightly abrasive, it just tears the bit to pieces. So I don't think I'll do that. Instead, I'll just hold the panels down, like all the panels down with Velcro. I think that'll work just fine. Second thing is I have this rounded over edging on the sides. And that's just in case you step on the edge, you don't get hurt. I think that's too much work. So instead, I'm going to just chamfer the edge of the board a bit. Should work fine, be simpler. So that's pretty much it. I'm happy to answer any questions, and feedback's appreciated too.